Purtimindusturo has toron has terono isalaya kie umotong. Abdi kie Burkina Faso po skang ole kehabai po cintala ya ye naipu nahi ya ki ungi tomi masing ke saisni bosi kolpe kenoi won sing chai ule President kata Ibrahim Traore hatui thamon chiye purtimi hama nongso to ya dai Europe rao America ro pose nai hu ye tha dike bo Burkina Faso brike haba kai thang ingmodi ro tini bo video chung nai le nai react lai nai ke Burkina Faso ke bosi sai sa jas ku kur thamo independent friends ni mayu abron chin teka president panong sai thang ha ta wo Ibrahim Traore Captain bosi kolpe chara president saisni bosi kolpe nui singe umo chin chai lut khebran haba kai thamo chung nai le nai.
Burkina Faso is not supposed to be doing this, not with its history, not with its challenges, and definitely not this fast. While the world is busy watching Africa's usual giants, a quiet revolution is unfolding in Burkina Faso. 20 massive projects, billions in transformation, and almost no global attention. What you are about to hear will completely change how you see this country. A country the world underestimated. Burkina Faso has long been described as landlocked, resource-limited, and politically unstable. For decades, it was rarely mentioned in conversations about African growth or development leadership. But that old story is breaking apart.
Tapi uchung skang teros hamu di ke Burkina Faso no muha po bing nahinya ci po ci ya cinta po kaya mama ke haba kaya angko pucha po koklo po tangko ma hase brani usom ro po me take kangang kwenye to it mas kita umma brike purtimi hamana nahinya thang imono ta usalene tomat ma project kiye bo Ibrahim Traore ba burdi ta uye di ke bin hanos namhi.
Behind the scenes, Burkina Faso has been laying foundations that are now impossible to ignore. Not one or two developments, but 20 strategic mega projects working together. This is not accidental growth. This is calculated transformation. Project 1 to 3 powering the nation with
Ibrahim Traore ke zokon bon bosi saisne bosi kolpe ke neiwo president ne achu theu mo achu mon sing cha ye bini gian burdi atrezat ke chungye bungke geology ko klobai bachelor degree mai to sipanya kosni po abdi ke sipanya captain ungye sipanya school wa e captain paye abdi ke bang president no kui kraye bung president pai se aron chi bung bo Burkina Faso bin hanom ta ke maya chao kangang chi so sam chu burtim biwo ke ha ba kamo di ke bung phun chu mo e project ke khol ke ha borsan ke ha abdi ke ran mo ya abdi ka bala mo punya bo project ke khol bo project mung khol mega project no uhan solawo borsan solawo sisna yari ke bo habala.
Energy was one of Burkina Faso's biggest weaknesses. Without power, nothing else moves forward, so the country made a bold choice. Solar energy at scale. Burkina Faso launched multiple large solar power plants across different regions. These facilities are now supplying electricity to hundreds of thousands of homes. At the same time, hydropower projects along key river systems are expanding capacity. This reduces dependence on imported fuel and cuts long-term costs. Reliable energy is now becoming a reality. Project 4 to 6. Transport that connects everything.
Project 1 to 5 ole. Skang having project ole. Power electricity, power energy. Okay, habaka mazibala la mapo power electricity now umba ibung simba solar energy ro banao amdi kiye hydroelectric city ro banao.
You cannot grow an economy if people and goods cannot move. Burkina Faso invested heavily in road rehabilitation and expansion. Major highways connecting cities and borders are being rebuilt to modern standards. Railway development projects are also underway to improve freight movement. These rail links reduce transport time and boost regional trade. Movement creates opportunity, and Burkina Faso understands this deeply. Project 7 to 9. Agriculture goes industrial. Agriculture employs most of the population, but for years it remained low productivity and vulnerable. That is changing fast. Large-scale irrigation projects now allow farming all year round. Modern storage facilities reduce post-harvest losses. Agro-processing zones are being built to turn raw crops into finished goods. Burkina Faso is no longer just growing food. It is building food industries. Project 10 to 12, mining with a new strategy. Burkina Faso has gold, a lot of it. But exporting raw gold never created lasting wealth. So new mining policies now focus on local value addition. Refining capacity is expanding inside the country. Infrastructure around mining regions is improving, including roads, power, and water. This turns mining from extraction into development. Project 13 to 14,
energy electricity bomba no pa sin ke tre transportation ha ba ka ni man kele ni road communication krong lai mo rasta kam naw amdi ke bung simbo ya bono ba naw di ke tre project to mining gold matma ki industry ko lo bro ha ba ka mo chung no zatria ole Ibrahim Traore ya ko snile rang zau ro bro ha won chi mai people gubui ha za ka wo tu na ye rang zau ba no ni nang du ta ole industry kam tu mo ye bro han zero bro rang zau ro pum du sari ye pa ko me abdi ke tre rot sorro bo bro ni zer ba no ye pa
and skills for the future. Mega projects are useless without skilled people. Burkina Faso is investing in technical universities and vocational training centers. These institutions focus on engineering, agriculture, construction, and energy. Youth are being trained for the exact industries being built. This is how long-term growth survives. Project 15, healthcare that reaches everyone. Healthcare youth
industry raw dikiye agriculture no hono bung hase ke tunya tre tangcha nai sung nai ro no po bung haba la khru ye ni technology be kung le ye road communication rasta be kung le ye re ki bung haba la abdi ki education ka lo ipo technical higher education ro at maro institution kam ro ba chari au pa sin ke healthcare pur thim biwa ha mo ham ya mo ha ba ka mo ka ya mo erta mo ke hale ganang mo ya mo ni msingwa healthcare abum tungnai bru ro ba bro ni sorinari ba ham de ham bro ni lifespan ba chu bro ni ayu ba law himoro sing
be uneven and under-resourced. New regional hospitals and medical centers are now operational or under construction. Digital health systems are improving patient tracking and treatment efficiency. Access to care is expanding beyond major cities. A healthy population is a productive population. Project 16, digital infrastructure and connectivity. The digital economy is no longer optional. Burkina Faso is expanding fiber optic networks across the country. Mobile coverage is reaching rural communities. Government services are moving online to improve transparency and efficiency. Digital access is becoming a national priority. Project 17, water security.
Ibrahim Traore ke askal purte mini be na hamri ke habaka to abon pa amon chicha ye snum ye ke bon po bru krum umba si to digital connectivity teni mo internet connection himodiro amdiro be ki bini health facility hospital ro krum lai riwo abdi ki zuai ro no batta ki absa ko klo be ki tre habaka karu ki internet facility ro digital
For the future. Water scarcity has always been a threat. Large dam and reservoir projects are now securing water for cities and agriculture. Urban water supply systems are being modernized. This protects against climate shocks and supports population growth. Water security equals national security. Project 18, housing and urban development. Rapid growth demands livable cities. Affordable housing projects are expanding in major urban areas. New city planning initiatives focus on sanitation, roads, and public services. Urban growth is being managed instead of ignored. Project 19. Industrial zones and manufacturing. Special economic zones are being developed to attract manufacturers. These zones offer power, logistics, and regulatory support. Textiles, food processing, and construction materials are key targets. Burkina Faso wants factories, not just imports. Project 20, regional trade and strategic positioning. Burkina Faso sits at a crossroads in West Africa. New trade corridors strengthen links with neighboring countries. Customs modernization speeds up cross-border commerce. The country is positioning itself as a regional hub. Why this matters more than you think. This is not about one country winning. It is about a shift in Africa's development story. Burkina Faso proves that progress does not always come with headlines. Sometimes it comes quietly, steadily, and strategically. While others talk, some countries build. The silent funding strategy behind these projects. One of the most fascinating parts of Burkina Faso's transformation is how these 20 mega projects are being funded. Unlike many nations that rely on a single foreign partner, Burkina Faso is spreading its risk. The country is combining public funding, regional development banks, and selective private investment. This reduces dependency and gives the government strong
bo di ke bung samtang me mole beng ro bung loan lawo di ke tre bung be partnership ke wo West Africa ni tre hak doctor ro bai ke bin ha tre haro bai ki bung grung lai samtang
control over national priorities. What makes this strategy powerful is discipline. Projects are approved based on long-term value, not political popularity. This is quiet financial maturity. The role of regional partnership and African solidarity. Another overlooked force behind Burkina Faso's progress is regional cooperation. Instead of waiting for distant approval, the country is working closely with West African partners. Shared power grids, trade corridors, and agricultural research programs are reducing costs and speeding up results.
Ibrahim Traore ke beta berugian now. Ke ongnya hiya pa ya motong bini West Africa bo ni ham singo ni bini ha sam seder no bai ki pa ge krong lai pal ke khaye abdi ke bro ni agriculture product po beno huiye bro ni power grid power electricity po beno ba ya re ke pha ko ye bro thingu se trade corridor bron tingo bepar ke ni man ki lama phiao ye Burkina Faso wo bin pai ba hasin ki bro no brani bepar po no to
Neighboring countries benefit, and that creates mutual interest in stability and growth. This approach quietly strengthens influence without confrontation. Burkina Faso is not isolating itself. It is anchoring itself deeper into Africa's future. Why these projects are being built simultaneously? Most countries build projects one at a time. Burkina Faso is doing something very different. Energy, transport, agriculture, and digital systems are being developed together. This creates a multiplier effect. When power arrives at the same time as roads, industries can start immediately. When agriculture grows alongside processing plants, value stays inside the country. Nothing is waiting for something else to catch up. That is rare, and that is intentional. The youth factor changing everything. Burkina Faso has a young population. Instead of seeing this as a risk, the country is treating it as an advantage. Training programs are directly linked to active mega projects. Young people are learning skills that are immediately usable. This reduces unemployment pressure and social tension. It
habaka man ke sorkari habala mamangya abum singuni tongnai usom ake zuwain rosibet take sra ni no Burkina Faso budi ke habaka tampo zuwain Burkina Faso oni zuwain ro bet take sra tawse ndi ke sorkari po bin tamar mato zuwain ro no training ri maro zuwain ro no brekie broni kapang sra ri maro zototong ndi digital khoklobai technology khoklobai skill training makma apti be kise broni unemployment problem po solve
also builds loyalty to national development. A country that gives its youth purpose gains stability. Security and development moving side by side. Many people ask how development is possible during security challenges. The answer is strategic focus. Infrastructure projects are prioritized in zones where stability can be strengthened through jobs and services. Development becomes part of the security solution. When communities gain roads, water, power, and employment, they become partners in protection. Development here is not separate from safety. It supports it. Why global media is not paying attention yet. The world usually notices Africa only during crises or elections. Burkina Faso's transformation does not fit those headlines. There are no flashy megacities yet. No loud investor conferences, just steady execution. But history shows something important. Countries that grow quietly often surprise the world later. This silence is temporary. The moment before the world notices. Quiet growth.
Burkina Faso skama bing purtem bi ma si ya kimi tomo ta ole Amerika ropono na hi ta Europe ni hak tok to ropono na hi ta pal kham chua ade education systems na ha health systems na ha healthcare systems na ha the technology ko agriculture ko tre power electricity through transportation trezak habalai technology ko industry reformation ko Ibrahim Traore ke Burkina Faso no bet kita otui saye Burkina Faso ni usomro ta o Ibrahim Traore no take ko choken nai o hamya o President Msingwa Thomas Sankara no bet take bro ni father of the nation Burkina Faso ni father of the nation hanim pha dike bro nayo abini pore wole Ibrahim Traore amre thak ke bro kotor khen nayo umbaye ta ole Ibrahim Traore president samon sinye ha phono zala ka ha usomro phono khas kuthang eto tre video rawo bombre ke agriculture system khoklobe ke habalai tung road communication khoklobe ke mabre ke habalai tung himono chungdai le ta onjora wole bo video le posa onjora wa senke